Kei ngā manawa titi e mahi nui nā I roto I ngā hapori huri noi te motu, tēnā koutou katoa. Nau mai hoki mai ki Tapatahi, tēnei hōtaka motu hake e whakapāhotia ana e Whakaata Maori. He hata mātou mahi, he whāngai atu I te tika me te pono o te kōrero ki a koutou. Welcome to Tapatahi, the program that brings you everything you need to know about COVID-19. Tapatahi literally means to unite and is taken from the well-known Whakaata, tūtira mai ngā iwi. And it's all about doing this together, so please let us know if you have a question or any feedback. Well, coming up on today's show, it's been just over a week since lockdown began, so how are whānau coping and what are mums, dads and tamariki doing to fill their days? We'll also catch up with well-known entertainer Pio Tere for some parenting tips, but first it's what you need to know about COVID-19 in 30 seconds. Well, there are 89 new cases made up of 76 confirmed cases and 13 probable cases. It brings the total to 797. 92 people have recovered, while 13 people are in hospital and 2 are in ICU. The number of Maori cases which rose by 10, which takes the tally to 56. There are 23 cases for Pacifica. And Tūhoe has set up tribal checkpoints at Waikaremoana, Ruatahuna, Ruatoke and Waimana after one person tested positive in Opotiki and concerns that too many are ignoring lockdown. Whānau mā e noho ki te kāinga. Ka ati kia huri ake I nāne ki tā tātou kaupapa tuatahi. Our first story today follows up kōrero that was shared on the program yesterday about the 45 COVID-19 cases in Matamata. It's a cluster that's believed to consist of several Maori. Here's Kiriama Wright with more.
E rere ana ngā kainoho o Matamata ki te whare whakamātautau I te horapa haeretanga o te uruta korona ki tēnei hapori.
I te ata nei, ko tai mai te rongo, ana ko pā tēnei mate, te mate uruta ki te hiatu o mātou whānau.
We have had some whānau who have gone for testing for Ngāti Hinarangi, however not confirmed as yet.
E rua te kau kē ngā kēhi ko whakamanahia I Matamata, I ngā rangi e toru ka pahemo, e toru hoki ko kitea I Waharoa, me te mānukanuka o Ngāti Haua me Ngāti Hinarangi, e tipu tonu ana auara raunga.
Absolutely devastating to think a small place like Matamata has the second highest cluster in New Zealand.
And at the moment we're testing more and more to see how far that's transmitted, but we do know that that's already transmitted within one of our whānau.
O tērā pea, kua whakawhiti tēnei mate mai tēnei whānau ki te hiatu whānau.
I tīmata te hora I konei I te pāpara o Redoubt kei te puku o te taone, I tētahi whakangahau hato pāteriki, I tūwai I te tekau mā whitu o Maihe. Nā wai I pāngia tētahi kaimahi, ka hora ki te rangatira o tēnei pāpara, ki te hapori whānui.
We know that there were a number of businesses also at that same readout bar during that time, so the transmission or the likelihood of transmission is broader than just the readout bar.
Nā runga I te kaha o te horapa, no te mane tēnei whare whakamātautau ka whakaritea. Neke atu I te rua te kau ngā waka kai konei e whakararangi mai ana ki te whakamātau I a rātau anō, me te aha mārama te kite I te a wangawanga kei ngā mata o etahi o ngā kai hautū.
We've got elderly, we've got sick, we've got young mums, young babies, not immunised at all in those kinds of issues. So it's a serious concern for us.
We have very few kaimātua and we certainly don't want this to impact on them and their well-being.
Hei tā te pirimia koe nei te hiranga o te taumata tuawhā me te pūmau ki ngā tikanga noho haumaru, noho ki te kāinga.
It also demonstrates why being at level 4 now will help us to continue to contain that transmission. Imagine right now if we had that cluster, that outbreak, without us all being in self-isolation, and what that would mean in terms of those numbers, with one person transmitting and passing it on to 3, maybe as many as 5 people. That is how you see the kinds of outbreaks that we have seen in other countries.
Hakoa te taumaha e taunaki tonu ana tēnei hapori I aia anō.
The CEO of Te Hauora o Ngāti Haua, Darren Haimona, joins us now. Tēnā koe, Darren.
Ai, tēnā koe, Shane. Kia ora koutou.
So what's the latest with the outbreak in Matamata? What can you tell us?
Just that our families at the moment, our Māori families that have been affected, it appears that it's mild at this moment. So they're monitoring their own welfare. They've actually let other whānau members know and friends know that they've tested positive, just so that people can protect themselves and monitor their own health and well-being. So that's what we know about that situation at the moment.
How many of the confirmed 45 cases are Maori? Do you know that?
No, but we know of 5 at this stage. But we also know that there's further tests happening, so that we're awaiting the results. So a number of our people have been tested during this time.
So of course we know that how we tend to live as Māori, we tend to live with other whānau members. The 5 that have tested positive, are you aware of their situations and the possible risks in transmission?
Well, one of the things I can say is that they're taking it very seriously. They've quarantined themselves and notified others around that. It has been transmitted by either their partners or other family members, so that's part of that community transmission. Fortunately, at this stage, what we know from those families is that they haven't got other critically vulnerable families within their households at this moment.
That is good news. And you also mentioned earlier that it seems to be mild at this point in time. Is that the case?
That's what we're hearing from them. Of course, we can't communicate like we normally would have. So we're only hearing things that they're letting other family members know or ringing ourselves around. So mild at this stage, monitoring that. They're having to work with all the officials and the different services to make sure that it stays that way.
What is the care like? So obviously they are in self-quarantine, self-isolation at home. They're keeping their distance from other whānau and community members. Yeah. What is the care that's being provided by health services like?
Well, we haven't heard that they've actually received anything beyond stay at home and keep yourself safe. So I suppose care services are waiting to see if any of the symptoms grow or whether or not their condition worsens over time. So that's all we know at this stage.
It seems strange to me that healthcare wouldn't be made available to them or that they wouldn't be in hospital.
I suppose it depends on the assessment that they're making. So if the symptoms at this moment are showing that they're coping, that they're at low, and so they wouldn't want to fill up all of our hospitals immediately. So at the moment, it seems to be keep a watchful eye and then respond. But of course, we're keeping an eye on that as well, Shane. One of our concerns is that many of our Māori families don't really take action immediately. So I think that knowing that we've got COVID-19 in our communities, I mean, Matamata's only 8,000 people roughly, and further on, just down the road from that, Waharo, our community, that's only about 500, and the majority, about half of our population of Matamata is Māori. So it's a great concern to us that it could be transmitted.
What this is telling us, that this is real. This is real.
It's real.
And this is real, and we've got Māori whānau that have been affected.
Absolutely. I mean, I could tell you that just around the corner from my own home here, we've got a case here already. And of course, they're maintaining their distance and their quarantine, but it's real. It's in our homes. It's made it in our communities. And the impact of this would be devastating if it got to our most vulnerable families at this time. And what you know as well is that many of our Māori families are vulnerable. We have elderly or we have comorbidity. We already have poor mortality rates, etc. So it's a great concern for us.
I do want to talk about that, the wider community, the wider whānau that you're working with. What's being done to support them, and how much testing is currently available for them?
Well, we know from the Prime Minister that they've widened the testing criteria, but you still at this stage need to demonstrate that you have those symptoms or that you've been in direct contact. It's hard for us to be able to tell though, because we only know our Māori families that have advised us that they've been tested and they've come out positive. We don't know who else in the wider Matamata community is being tested or been told that they're positive, because we're not being shared those names. So it's hard for us to be able to monitor whether or not we've come in contact with them. We do know some of them were already in businesses, so other businesses that we may have frequented rather than just the readout. So that's a concern to us, and that's information that's not being shared with us.
You talk about, 8,000 members of the community. half of which are Maori. What's your advice to those Maori watching this, who may be feeling a bit uncomfortable, may be concerned about their current situation? Is it to go and get tested regardless? Or what sort of advice are you providing whānau?
Absolutely. They've set up testing stations here in Matamata. They're even talking about bringing a testing site here to Waharo. I encourage people, if you've got those symptoms, please make contact with your GP or the 0800 number and, be vigilant. Take care of yourselves and your family.
Now, I get that it's not just in the community of Matamata, but right across the country. There are clusters, there are cases. But do you feel that your community is being supported enough to be able to manage the situation and, of course, support those that may have tested positive?
Well, at the moment, we're only getting national information. So with the lockdown, of course, we can't necessarily talk to each other except by Skype or by Zoom these days. So we're having to coordinate ourselves in our own way. I suppose we're very trusting, Shane, that the government and all the services will provide for our people. But at the same time, we're not waiting for that as well. And I think what you've seen across the country is Māori and iwi are mobilising themselves now. So they're already setting up their own communications. They're supporting families within their home. So one of the things that we're most concerned about is for families to stay within their homes, they need to know that they have adequate food, adequate resources to be able to feel comfortable in their own home. So we're having to be proactive now, make contact with families to encourage them to stay at home and try to meet their needs as best we can online or in whatever way we can.
Finally, Darren, what's your message to whānau? What is your words of advice, of support to whānau watching us right now?
I think one of the key messages that stuck in my mind was from the Prime Minister, which is to act as if you have COVID-19. Well, I know it sounds like a bit funny now because we realise that in our communities we do have COVID-19 sitting right. But I think it makes you think differently about the way that you do things, how you communicate with others, how you protect yourselves and your family when you come in contact with others.
And unfortunately, whānau, we've lost the signal there to Darren Haimona, the CEO of Te Hauora o Ngāti Haua. But we thank him for his time this morning. And of course, that is one of the consequences of having to work online. However, coming up on the show, we talk with two whānau, one in Waiharakeke, Blenheim, and the other in Moerewa in Northland, about how they're coping during lockdown and the innovative approach they're taking with their tamariki. But now we're joined by a well-known TV personality, well hopefully we have him on the line, and all-round nice guy, Pio Tere, tēnā koe, Pio.
Tēnā koe te rangatira ngā mihi hoki ki te whānau o Matamata kia kaha koutou. Great interview, it really highlights what's going on, Shane, that's for sure.
It does, Pio, because having that discussion with Darren and then hearing about the cluster and what that looks like in Matamata and the effect that it's having, not only on Māori but the wider community, it makes this thing feel real. If whānau haven't believed that it's real, they can see that it is now real.
Oh, totally, man. And we really need to step up and as parents and community leaders and whoever, show some leadership around this stuff. It is real. All we have to do is look at our history books and see how we've been devastated in the past, all through Te Ao Māori. And we're not going to let this happen. We won't let this happen, but we can't stop it by accident or, well, we can stop it by just sitting on the couch in your own whare, really.
That's right. I'm interested to know, what does the lockdown look like for you and how you're coping?
Well, we're luckier than most. We've got a little bit of space out here and we've got 4 adults in our bubble, but we still had to do the basic things, and I really suggest to whānau to do it. If you haven't done it, do it now. And that's have a bit of a hui. We've us Maori, have a bit of a hui, talk about expectations, about what other people within this strange environment are expected to do or what we expect from each other, and make sure as parents or partners we can try and keep some calm within your whare, because we can't do much if we're living in the red anxiety zone.
Absolutely. What's your advice for parents and whānau? We're going to be talking with a couple of whānau shortly, but what's your advice? So you say have a hui. What else can parents be doing to try and adapt to these new conditions in which we're living?
Well, you know, sometimes when you're in a whānau, and I went shopping like last week and I saw houses with 5 or 6 cars parked outside of them, and I thought, man, they've got a tribe there. Remember, for our tamariki, we can remove them out of that space if they do read, if they are sitting in front of the TV. So even though we're clustered together in these homes, there are ways, creative ways of giving each other space, because it's such an important thing, and just keep them busy and be creative, I think is the main thing, and a soft heart, soft voice, because we don't know if this is going to finish in the time that's been specified, Shane. So if we can get these sort of plans in place now and keep our family safe, what a good thing to do.
How can we use humour at this time? Now, obviously, we're in a very sensitive situation, and there's a lot of warnings being shared with us, a lot of advice, and a lot of the risks are being shared with us as well. But as Maori, we like humour, and it's generally in the saddest, worst sort of scenarios or situations that humour provides us with a bit of relief.
Oh, kia hau nei tēnei mea. Te kata he rongo ne. So I totally agree with you, man. And some of the biggest laughs I've had have been at tangi. And I think we're that sort of people. I mean, we can sort of take the mimi out of situations without hurting anybody or without creating anxiety. You know, if you're going to sit down for tea and you've got a big long stick and you want to push the sauce over to Nanny with a big long stick, that's going to create a laugh. I think humour's funny. A lot of stuff going around on Facebook through the media that just make you laugh out loud. One of the things that we as Māori need to know how to fill our emotional tank up. So if you have a tough day or I have a tough day, we need to know where to go to fill our emotional tank up. And if humour is that place, that's cool. Because if we don't fill our emotional tank up, we're not going to, things are going to get tough, man.
Absolutely. Pio, thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's great to see you. It's great to hear you again. And you keep safe. The members of your bubble keep safe. And I'm sure we'll be back in touch with you again.
Great work. Kia ora koe, ngā mihi.
Tēnā rau atu koe. O tira, ko Pio Terei, e kōrero mai ana ki a tātou i tana kāinga, i tana miru, i roto o tāmaki makaurau nei. Kāti, we catch up next with the Nepia whānau in Waiharakeke, Blenheim, about the techniques they're using during the level 4 lockdown. But first, here's a short clip that they created about their daily routine. Mātaki mai.
Kia ora mai te iwi ko te amarama nepea tōku ingoa. Kia ora mai te iwi ko māreikura nepea tōku ingoa. Firstly, we'd just like to say that we hope everybody is safe and well during these hard times and in the circumstances of lockdown that COVID-19 has presented us with.
And welcome to a day in the life of the Nepias during isolation.
Firstly, we start off with karakia and then we do motiatia, whakapakari tinana with the whānau, and then we do parakohi and get ready for the day.
After we have parakohi and get ready, we would then do some schoolwork or Hawaii kura content creation. We then have kaiotera.
After kaiotera, we spend some free time doing whatever we want, catching up with whānau and friends online, and then we do some more mahi and go for a family hikoi around our neighbourhood.
We then get back and have dinner. After dinner, it's all about the whānau.
There you have it, e te iwi, a day in the life of the Nepias in self-isolation. We hope that everybody is staying safe in lockdown and well. We are sending out our love and aroha to everybody out there.
No reira, kia haumaru te noho, #Manaaki Tuni.
What an amazing video. Well, joining us now from their whare in Waiharakeke, Blenheim, is Kylie Napier and Donna Napier and the whānau, of course, tēnā koutou.
Kia ora!
Can I just say, what an amazing video that was. And you've obviously got Maori television content producers for tomorrow right there. And it looks like the whānau are enjoying themselves during self-isolation.
Ai, tēnā koe Shane o te rā, tēnā tātou. Tātou e noho tapu nei, tātou e noho haumaru nei ki te kāinga, e mihi ana kia tātou.
So your daily routine, Kylie, talk to us about it. And obviously we've just had a glimpse of it by that awesome video that was prepared. But how has lockdown affected positively, negatively on you and the whānau?
Yeah, I think we're lucky in that we hang out with each other quite a bit anyway, because of the lifestyle that we've chosen, and so we've always got at least 2, if not 4 kids in tail. However, the first couple of days were, there was a little bit about getting a routine and making sure that we weren't just holidaying all the time. And and then we just really took it from there. And then we've set out a little bit of a routine for the whānau. The girls have been really good in that respect, and just keeping ourselves busy and safe.
Can we just get the whānau to introduce themselves?
Kia ora, ko te amaru Napier tōku ingoa. Kia ora, ko Māreikura Napier ahau.
Kia ora, ko Donna Napier ahau, ko Waiki tū tēnei.
What a beautiful whānau. Donna, what about for you? How has lockdown been for Mum?
I'm actually really enjoying it. We decided as a family that we have no choice but to embrace it. So we put, special little routines in place to make it easier. Kylie and I still have to work, so obviously we have no care for the tamariki, so we tag in and out. Probably the biggest challenge is feeding everybody. When you're at home, it's way too easy just to eat and eat and eat, especially my son who's going through a growth spurt. So just making sure we stick to meal times and, of course, stay active as well.
Well, that's a good point, obviously, about Kai, but the fact that you and Kylie still have to continue to work, how are you managing that with also having to prepare Kai, look after the tamariki, engage with the tamariki, as well as look after your daily workload?
Yeah, it's pretty full on. Like I said before, we sort of tag team each other, Kylie and I do, and we have our big girls to help as well. So it's just about making everyone step up and help each other out.
And of course, I've been following a number of the videos that you've been posting and the kura environment that you're providing your tamariki. Obviously something that not every whānau can do, but what does that consist of? What does that look like?
Yeah, again, Shane, I think we're in a privileged position in that this is our lifestyle, and what it's done for us is it's given us an opportunity to really fall back onto our values and really preach and put into action the lifestyle that we love doing. Mareikura at the moment is teaching us a new mōteatea, and like you've seen that they're doing little bits and pieces and sharing that online as well, just to keep things a little bit positive in this time of uncertainty.
You talk about values. I'd like to know and understand how te reo and tikanga is helping you through this time.
Yeah, we're certainly not a fluent whānau. We're a bilingual family, but we are very kaupapa driven, and it's very much part of our lifestyle. And so, again, it's been something that we've been able to use to be able to shelter our family and to keep ourselves active, and then to also work within the framework of our Māoritanga.
It's interesting in terms of karakia, tikanga, uara, and witnessing and observing many whānau drawing upon their Māoritanga to help them through these times. And obviously you guys are absolutely doing that now too.
Yeah, and it's been real interesting in that we, in that first couple of days, the amount of online wānanga that were popping up online. We've subscribed to a number of those. In that first week, we had to cancel about 3 wānanga that we were delivering, and so they've all gone online. That's the first time for us. Te Ao Marama and Māreikura, they are delivering a rangatau wānanga online. We're doing one for Pakeke, and so, yeah, it definitely has provided an opportunity for us to think outside of the square in terms of, our whole business, if you like, is around connecting with whānau, and how do you do that when you can't do it kanohi ki te kanohi?
What advice do you have for other whānau watching now? Obviously, every whānau's different. Not everyone's like the Nepia whānau that is full of innovation and creativity. Well, possibly they are. But anyhow, what advice can you give whānau that are currently coping or trying to cope with lockdown?
My advice would be not to stress the small things. It doesn't matter if the tamariki are still in their pyjamas at lunchtime. It's not a big deal. Don't be too hard out trying to get them to do their mahi kāinga. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the time of being able to be together without the busyness of everyday life. I'm loving that. I'm loving not having commitments outside of our little bubble, because it really is time for us to spend time on us as opposed to giving ourselves to everyone else.
Now, I know just how talented your whānau are, and for the whānau watching at home, this wasn't pre-arranged or anything, but I'm just going to ask you, can you bout out a number or give us something, one of your waiata, or because you're all very, very talented, I'm sure you can, to wrap us up.
Oh, okay. We're gonna attempt the first little verse of our more tia that we're just learning. So it's not a finished product at the moment, but this is one of our more tia that we're currently learning. See, I didn't get that last line.
Ko ia kei a koutou, e mihi nui atu ana mātou o whakaata Māori kia koutou, noho haumaru mai i kona, o te rā, noho ora mai koutou i kona, tēnā rau atu koutou.
Kia ora Shane, o te rā, tēnā tātou.
Kia ora.
He whānau tino rawe a tāhua. Ka ti mai te waka Māui ki te hiku o te ika, we now go from Waiharakeke into Waipounamu, to Moerewa into Tai Tukerau, to the Smith whānau, to Dad, Eli and Mum Te Wairua and their 5 tamariki, tēnā koutou.
Kia ora, morena.
Morena. I can hear you. I don't know if we've got any pictures. Oh, there you go. Tēnā koutou. And what a lovely, beautiful looking whānau you have too. Tell me, how is everyone coping?
Good.
Yeah, tau ahua rāno e Shane, e nui ngā huatanga e pānei kia mātou i tēnei wai, ngari ko te ngā nui e whai nāna tamariki e noho haumaru ana ngā tamariki i tēnei wā. But yeah, other than being home for the last however many days, we've lost count of days, yeah, we're coping all good. I'm lucky enough to have my wife who's at home with tamariki while I'm out at mahi during the day. But, other than that, no, we're coping very good.
Because of course, Eli, you're a prihimana as well, so you've got to carry on doing the big mahi out in our communities. How are you managing that balance?
Well, I'm not as a prihimana as we say. They call us civvies or non-sworn officers. So I
Close
just
enough.
help with the aspects of te reo Māori and some cultural advisory stuff for the police. But yeah, it can be quite daunting at times. It can be quite daunting heading out into the unknown. But with the support of our team and our boss and stuff, yeah, it's good. Ia ki ngā kōrero ki te tika muri ka tika mua. So it's, yeah, I'm grateful to have a beautiful wife that holds it down at home. So that's kind of reassuring for us and reassuring as a husband to come home and to make sure all our tamariki are looked after and they're well occupied.
And let's now meet your beautiful wife, Te Wairua. How is Mum? How are you coping with lockdown?
Yeah.
It's pretty full on, but it's fun. It's fun. We make do with what we have, and my kids love routine, and they actually love doing schoolwork and everything. So we stick to routine. It's easier for us. But I say to whānau, do what works for your whānau. You know your kids better than anyone else. So do what works for you. In our household, we have karakia every morning. This is normal outside of being in lockdown. We do that generally. We have mihi, and then, yeah, we get into the day. We do mahi painga, we do maurako, we do waiata. Yeah, just have fun together.
Can you take the opportunity now just to introduce your tamariki, your babies that we can see on screen?
Papai. So this is our kepi. This is Te Au Mārire. Tahi ona tau. Here we have Tuakuinga. Te Kohurua, he's the Puru. Then we have
Kia ora, ko taia whahoto ku ingoa.
Ora, te. And we have Tuhora Nuku.
What a beautiful looking whānau. How though, because of course with a big beautiful whānau, and we all have this experience, right? There are a number of personalities. So how of course are you managing personalities at the moment?
Yeah, personalities are definitely the biggest challenge. I guess just trying to find as much time with them to work on those personalities. So one of them, loves hip hop and is a real entertainer. So drawing in on that stuff. One just full on loves to be outside. So letting him go and do that. And then we have the ones who love to do tuhi and work those brains. So just working on their strengths. So keeping their personalities alive.
And I'm interested to understand what are some of the challenges, the daily challenges that you're having to face. We just heard from the Nepia whānau, one of their challenges is the amount of kai, right, that they have to prepare, because of course when you're at home you tend to eat a little bit more. So kai, is that a challenge that you're currently facing? And what are some of the other challenges that you're having to overcome?
Yeah, I suppose kai is one, but we've found a few strategies to kind of feed a tribe of 7 every night. So we're pretty good in terms of kai and stuff. But I suppose for me and my wife, it's finding time just finding time for ourselves. So we kind of find that when the tamariki goes to sleep, that kind of becomes our time for ourselves, and just getting into a routine for a bit of whakapakari tinana every day, especially with 5 tamariki running around and being crazy. Trying to find a bit of time for me and my wife to focus on ourselves and focus on our own health and do a bit of whakapakari tinana can be challenging at times. But I suppose, normal things, cleaning up. Cleaning up can be quite a bit of a mission in our whare. But we're trying to make the best of a bad situation, and we're really grateful actually to be able to sit at home with our tamariki for the next however many weeks. But there aren't too many challenges that we can't overcome, and there aren't too many challenges that we can deal with directly here at home.
It does sound, I have to say, that you're trying to make the most of it, given the conditions in which you're now having to live within. What advice, though, and Te Wairua, you did offer some very kind words earlier about each whānau having to deal with their own situation in their own unique way. What other advice do you have for whānau watching this today?
Yeah, I suppose just to do what feels right for you guys. I mean, we have some whānau who are single parents and who don't necessarily follow any structure or follow any routine, but hey, that works for them. But for us, like we said before, with 5 young tamariki or 5 under 10, we have to kind of set them into a solid routine that keeps them occupied during the day. So for us, I suppose it's just to find what works for you, and to kind of utilize technology at this time. We also utilize a lot of the online platforms that have now come out in the last couple of weeks, like E Kura Mo Ngā Mokopuna. We're also utilizing some of the online health platforms, some of the online pūrākau platforms. So I suppose it's utilizing those small things in these times, because when the lockdown lifts, we're off camping, because that's kind of our thing. We like getting out to the beach. E pai mate ki te haere ki te noho puni, te haere ki te ruku kai, ki te hiika, ki me rā tu āhuatanga. But yeah, for now, it's just to utilize the things that you don't really normally get to utilize. But yeah,
I guess be kind to yourself if things don't go as planned. It's another day up for, work it out. If the tamariki have a bad day, you have a bad day, be kind to yourself. Things happen.
I think that's absolutely fantastic advice. And of course, talking about using the things that, having access to technology and social media, etc. And of course, going back to the good old fashioned, like what's sitting in your lap, Eli. And I understand you guys are going to give us a number as well, right? Before we wrap up.
Yep.
Hi.
Bye.
Tēnā rawātu koutou katoa a tāhua tēnā waiata, e mihi nui atu ana mātou ki a koutou. Tēnā rā koutou.
Kia ora, ngā mihi.
How can you not just absolutely love that? And to mark the way in which whānau are adapting to lockdown, to lockdown life, we're launching a competition called Whānau Fun. We want whānau to create a video up to 5 minutes in length about the fun that you're having in your home. Think waiata, haka, whakaari, drama. Be as creative as you can, and we'll share your videos on the show and on our social media platforms. And the winner will receive $1,000 in cash. And as you can see, here are a few videos that we've borrowed offline. So be creative e hoa mā kia auaha ngā whakaaro. And of course, the details will be up on our website and Facebook page over the weekend. Kia kahara, kia koutou. Well, you may have noticed that we're not in studio today, and I want to tell you why. Māori Television is an essential service that is working with iwi Radio and others to bring you the very latest on COVID-19. Now, prior to lockdown, we had around 150 kaimahi coming into the office every day here at East Tāmaki in Tāmaki Makaurau, Auckland, to bring you the magic that you see on your screens. Now, during lockdown, we have a skeleton crew of about 20 to 25 staff. All of our other wonderful colleagues are working from home. Now we've split ourselves, those that need access still to the whare, into two teams. We have two teams, te kapa whiro, the red team, me te kapa kikorangi, the blue team. The red team has access to the whare from Monday to Thursday, and the blue team from Friday to Sunday, which is why I'm not inside the whare and standing literally in the garden outside the office to observe the rules that we've put in place. This is to ensure that if, for example, one of our team were to be compromised, and Lord forbid that does not happen, then we would still have a team ready to go to bring you shows like this every day. And that is our show for today. Me mihi ki ngā tāngata, ngā kei kōrero me ngā whānau katoa. I whakawātea i a rātou anō ki a Whakaata Māori i te rangi nei. We'll be back on Monday on our Facebook page and website. And we'll also be live on Māori television from 10:30 a.m. Koe nā tapatahi mo tēnei rā, mo tēnei wiki. Kia piki te ora te kaha me te māramatanga ki a koutou katoa. Hei kona mo tēnei wā.